following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the Tiafangi coming to what will hopefully be a quick and successful video review. And as you could tell by the thumbnail, tonight we are taking a look at a Transformers figure that technically I don't have the whole packaging for it. Well, not technically, I really don't have the whole packaging for it. But tonight this review is going to be focusing on a brand new Transformers character introduced to the Transformers franchise last year in 2021, Nemesis Primal. So that's right, just like Optimus Prime, I'm the heroic leader of the Autobots. Optimus Primal, the heroic leader of the Maximals, now has an evil doppelganger with the word Nemesis in his name. So Hasbro and Takara Tomy decided to take an example from the character of Nemesis Prime, Optimus Prime's evil doppelganger, and made an evil doppelganger of Optimus Primal. So yes, Nemesis Primal is a brand new Transformers character, similar to how Nemesis Prime is a Decepticon doppelganger of Optimus Prime. You can tell right here on the chest, Nemesis Primal is a Predacon doppelganger of Optimus Primal. Nemesis Primal is only available in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Worlds Collide 4-pack. I was never able to find that 4-pack at my local Target store. And when I looked at photos of all 4 figures that you get in that box set and the prices that they were going for, or on both Amazon and eBay, the Worlds Collide 4-pack is now sold out on Target's website. I figured that out of all 4 action figures in that set, the one that I wanted to add to my collection is the one that's the brand new character of Nemesis Primal. So I paid a scalper $45 for Nemesis Primal. I know that's a bit much considering that the entire Worlds Collide 4-pack retailed for $75, but all 4 individual figures, including the entire box set brand new, is going for ridiculous aftermarket prices right now, so I figured I might as well grab Nemesis Primal while I still can. So yes, whoever previously owned Nemesis Primal, they cut off the back interior of the Worlds Collide 4-pack set, and this is how I got Nemesis Primal from eBay. But I am impressed with the great condition that he arrived in. So without further delay, let's get him off of his cardboard back and take a close look at him in robot mode. Alright, and here is Nemesis Primal. I'm free from that piece of cardboard, and again, he is pretty impressive looking. One of the main things that sold me on Nemesis Primal is right here, the only sculpted part that he has to distinguish himself from the Kingdom Optimus Primal figure is that he does have a brand new head sculpt, which has the full mouth plate, giving him the more Optimus Prime, or rather Nemesis Prime looking head. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people and Transformers fans and collectors embraced Nemesis Primal, was this new head sculpt with the closed mouth plate. So for those of you wondering what Kingdom Optimus Primal would look like with this closed mouth plate, Nemesis Primal's here to give you an example of that. And speaking of Optimus Primal, here is Nemesis Primal next to the leader of the Maximals. Again, I just love how, even with the only sculpted part being the new robot mode head that has the fully closed mouth plate, I just love seeing Nemesis Primal standing here next to Optimus Primal, and I'm trying to see really closely, and I thought so. So it's very hard to tell, but looking at their shoulder plates right here, if you look it up close, so it's kind of hard to tell from my camera to pick it up, especially with my bedroom light shining on it, but and I'm hoping my eyes aren't playing tricks on me, but from what I can tell, yeah, my eyes aren't playing tricks on me. So my camera can't unfortunately pick it up, but see if I can get it at a decent enough angle. You can kind of see it right there if I angle it correctly, but again, my bedroom lamp is preventing it from showing up prominently on camera. But when you do place Nemesis Primal and Optimus Primal right next to each other, Nemesis Primal's fur is a slightly darker shade of black than Optimus Primal's is. Optimus Primal's fur actually has a brownish tint to it, so it's actually a very, very dark shade of brown, whereas Nemesis Primal's fur looks almost like it's solid black. But again, I really enjoy having Nemesis Primal in my Transformers collection. The main reason I got Nemesis Primal originally was to try and see if I could maybe use him as a shattered glass version of Optimus Primal, but with that Predacon logo here on his robot mode chest, that's going to be impossible to do, but again, I don't regret getting Nemesis Primal and adding him to my Transformers collection because he is pretty impressive looking. So the color palettes on them are somewhat similar, just different shades. I love how on the robot mode chest they tried to do almost like a reversed of Optimus Primal's paint job, where the parts that are dark are now light on Nemesis Primal and vice versa. And for those in doubt as to whether or not Nemesis Primal is based on Nemesis Prime, in addition to being mostly black and having the parts that were gray on Optimus Primal now being purple here on Nemesis Primal, such as the robot mode hands and the gorilla chest, most of his paint details are teal and silvery gray, and of course the blades on his swords are red, whereas on Optimus Primal they're silver. So yeah, you do get a sense that this guy is pure evil while this guy is a hero. By the paint job alone. But yes, I really am thrilled with how Hasbro and Takara were able to use Optimus Primal's body and made a Nemesis brand new character based off of Nemesis Prime. Whether or not Nemesis Primal is going to appear in any Transformers media someday is uncertain, but I would love to see the idea of the heroic leader of the Maximals having his own evil doppelganger, just like Optimus Prime does. Now, one thing I'm noticing on Nemesis Primal is that his joints, such as right here, his robot mode chest, it is much looser than it is on Optimus Primal. But I can forgive it for that because, again, and everything about Nemesis Primal just it's distinguished enough that you can tell he's a separate character from Optimus Primal. And again, I really love that new head sculpt with the closed mouth plate. It is possible for you to do a head swap between Nemesis Primal and Optimus Primal if you want to see Optimus Primal having the closed mouth plate. But again, Nemesis Primal's head, it's entirely black, just like the gorilla fur, whereas Optimus Primal's head is bluish gray. So if you do decide to do a head sculpt, you will end up with Optimus Primal having a all black head on him. And of course, some paint detailing Optimus Primal has that Nemesis Primal lacks is that his ears are painted silver. On Nemesis Primal, they're unpainted black. So it's entirely up to you if you want to try and do a head swap between the two of them, but I think it looks great having the closed mouth plate on Nemesis Primal because it gives Optimus Primal a sense of being friendlier since he's willing to show his mouth to everyone. But yeah, I just love the way that new head sculpt came out. So articulation's pretty much the same as it is on Optimus Primal. The head's on a ball joint so it can look up and down slightly, rotate left and right. Shoulders can rotate forward and backwards 260 degrees. Swivel joint in the shoulder. The arm can move outward at the shoulder. But it's a little tight on this copy. There. Swivel joint in the bicep, hinged elbows, swivel joints in the wrist. You got open and closed fingers. You got a waist swivel, which again it's looser on Nemesis Primal than it is on Optimus Primal. Legs can go forward that far, or they can go back that far. Hinge jointed knees, swivel joints at the top of the thigh, but they're hindered by the sculpted detailing of the fur. And the toes can angle inward. The feet can angle inward and outward slightly at the ankle, but because they're held by these pistons, the feet can't really move forwards and backwards that much. And again, that's because that is a transformation joint. When you get this figure from robot mode to beast mode. So one thing I would have preferred is that if instead of teal they would have used a little more red here on Nemesis Primal. But again, I can see the reason why is because Nemesis Primal is essentially Optimus Primal with Nemesis Prime's paint job. So I can see why there's a lot more teal than there is red or purple on Nemesis Primal. It's to basically give him somewhat of a monochrome paint job, or a two-chrome paint job, which is what Nemesis Prime has become known for, being mostly black with silver and teal highlights. So without further delay, we will get Nemesis Primal transformed into Beast Mode and wrap up the review, and I will share my final thoughts on him. Alright, and so here is Nemesis Primal transformed into his Beast Mode. Again, I just really enjoy the paint job, the paint layout that Hasbro and Takara Tomy gave this guy. Unlike Optimus Prime, Nemesis Primal, he's got like those burning red soulless eyes that are just staring through you right into your soul, into your well-being, and I'm creeping myself out saying that. Again, I really do love the shade of purple paint and plastic that's used here. That's somewhat hidden in his robot mode, but it's very prominent here in gorilla mode, where you got purple on the face, you got purple on the gorilla chest, and on all four of the gorilla paws. The fingers and the toes are done in that nice shade of purple, and I just really enjoy that. Again, this is the same. It's a minor gripe. I had this with Optimus Primal as well, but I think the figure would have come out much better if they had done a better weapon storage for the two swords than have just them sitting here on the back. Because to have, just like Optimus Primal, for Nemesis Primal to be a robot in disguise, you have to leave his swords attached off to the side to make him look even more like a actual gorilla. But yeah, I just really love this, and the paint layout here and the overall design aesthetic that was done here to create Nemesis Primal. And again, those red eyes, they're just I think what creeps me out about Nemesis Primal's gorilla eyes is that, again, for a size comparison, here is Nemesis Primal next to Optimus Primal. It's very hard to tell, but if you look right there, Hasbro and Takara Tomy at least gave Optimus Primal a set of pupils. So in gorilla mode, Optimus Primal, again, his face, even though unlike robot mode where Nemesis Primal had a different head sculpt, in gorilla mode it's the exact same. And it just makes Optimus Primal look very friendly here. So this right here is one thing that gorillas avoid doing in real life, is eye contact, because when rival silverbacks make eye contact, they see it as a challenge to domination over all the other gorillas in a family. So that's one thing gorillas try to avoid doing at all times, is avoid eye contact, because they take that as a challenge to a fight. In real life, gorillas are actually very docile primates. They try to avoid fighting with each other as often as they can. And pretty much the only time gorillas show aggression is when, again, when a silverback sees a rival male. They'll come down. That's when they'll try and stand up and show their dominance over other gorillas. But yeah, that's I really do enjoy how much like a gorilla this figure ends up looking like. So it's been a long day for me, and that's why my voice is breaking up right now. This figure is Nemesis Primal, again, because the only sculpted part he has to distinguish himself from Optimus Primal is the robot mode head. He is officially a triple changer, kind of, where you can get him standing upright in an upright position on his back legs, which Optimus Primal did do that on occasion in the original Beast Wars cartoon. Some gorillas have been filmed standing on their back legs, but as far as walking or running around, gorillas have to distribute the weight of their bodies on all four of their paws. So most oftentimes you will see a gorilla crouch down on all fours, because the way their bodies are their muscles are structured and the shape of their spinal cord, it's easier for gorillas to walk on all 4 of their limbs instead of just 2 of them. So again, I really do enjoy how, despite in gorilla mode, the only difference between the 2 paint jobs, I just love how you can the Nemesis Primal and Optimus Primal are distinguished from each other. Again, I apologize for my camera not being able to show it off, but when you do have the figures in hand, you can see it that Nemesis Primal his gorilla fur is a slightly darker shade of black than Optimus Primal. Optimus Primal's gorilla fur, it's almost like a very dark brown, whereas Nemesis Primal, it's much closer to being solid black rather than giving the illusion of being black, which is the case with Optimus Primal. I'm debating on making Nemesis Primal rivals with the Maximal T-Rex, who I am pointing at behind me back there, since T-Rex is a straight-up repaint of Beast Wars Megatron. And I think it would be fun to see Nemesis Primal not only face off against Optimus Primal, but face off against T-Rex as well. We've got the gorilla and the T-Rex having their roles reversed. And for one last special size comparison to end off the video, here is Nemesis Primal next to the character that inspired him, which is Nemesis Prime. This is the Netflix figure. So yes, just like Optimus Prime and Nemesis Prime, Optimus Primal now has his own evil doppelganger in the form of Nemesis Primal, and I've always been a fan of Nemesis Prime, so when I found Nemesis Primal going on eBay for what I felt was a decent price, I decided to snatch him up and get him. Pretty much the only gripe I have with this copy of Nemesis Primal again is that the chest piece right here is very loose. But overall, I do not regret getting this figure and adding it to my collection. So, as far as the question goes, do I recommend getting Nemesis Primal and adding him to your Transformers collection? Absolutely I do. You cannot go wrong having another gorilla Transformer apart from Optimus Primal in your Transformers collection. And I love the idea that just like Nemesis Prime is an evil doppelganger of Optimus Prime, we now have Nemesis Primal acting as an evil doppelganger to Optimus Primal. Even if you can't find the entire Worlds Collide 4-pack, out of all 4 figures of the 4 Transformers figures sold in that 4-pack, I do recommend you get Nemesis Primal out of all 4 of them. And I just really enjoy how in both Robot mode and in Beast mode, how Nemesis Primal successfully gives off the appearance of being an evil Transformer that you do not want to mess with. And ugh, those soulless red eyes. Ugh, that is eyes. I mean, look at it. Ugh. Sorry for that. Sorry for being dramatic there. But yes, I do highly recommend you get Nemesis Primal, even if you can't find the entire Worlds Collide 4-pack. Nemesis Primal, in my opinion, is the best figure out of that 4-pack. Or pack to be released. Again, it's not just because he's a brand new character, but overall, the new robot mode head sculpt that was designed for him, along with the new paint job, it in my opinion successfully distinguishes him from Optimus Primal. Even though at first glance it only looks like Hasbro and Takara Tomy just switched out Optimus Primal's gray parts for purple here on Nemesis Prime. There is a lot more difference in the paint job apart from that. The heel spurs are different colors. They're blue on Optimus Primal and silver on Nemesis Primal. There's, of course, the blades of the swords. But yeah, all in all, I really enjoy how a simple paint job and a new head sculpt allowed Hasbro and Takara Tomy to take the Kingdom Optimus Primal figure and design a brand new character from it. So thank you guys also so much. Thank you to all my subscribers for your continued support. And remember, you guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.